Hey folks, Dale Davidson here, the VA guy, Davidson Law Offices here in Southwest Georgia, North Florida. Here today to talk a little bit about VA today, and specifically, what do you think is a real simple question? Actually, is kind of complex if you think about it. But who is a veteran? How does the VA define a veteran? Well, and we're talking in terms of VA benefits like disability, indemnity comp, DIC, or VA pension. That's that aid and attendance that we talk about a lot. So the VA actually defines somebody as a veteran as somebody who served in the armed forces. We're talking about Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Don't forget the Coast Guard, okay? Since you were in one of those service branches, then you can apply for these different benefits. But we're looking at military experience here. So what exactly is military experience? Of course, we talked about if you were in the Navy, Air Force, Army, Marines, okay? And then don't forget about the Coast Guard, okay? But what happens if you were in the reserves? Now, as a general rule, people say, well, I was in the reserves, so I wasn't really on active duty. Now, we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But it's possible that if you were in the reserves, in the Air Force or the Army Reserves, that you could qualify as a veteran as far as eligibility for these benefits. But I bet you didn't know that if you were a cadet at the U.S. Military Air Force Academy or the Coast Guard Academy or a midshipman at the U.S. Naval Academy, that you actually have military service. So you are actually qualified as a veteran. So military service can include attendance at one of these preparatory schools for military service like the Air Force and Navy and Army. Now we're talking about what is active. It's generally well known that if you're on the front lines or you're full-time duty in the Air Force or the Navy, Marines, Army, Coast Guard, that you're active duty. But what happens if you are in the reserves? Now, as a general rule, reservists aren't included in active military units, okay? So I know you go out on the training and you sacrifice for our country, and thank you for that. But unless the federal government calls you up and you serve time, such as when George Bush called up some active reservists and sent you over to Afghanistan, then that's active military service, okay? It doesn't count if, say, Ron DeSantis or Governor Kemp or whatever governor in your state calls you up for a natural disaster or something like that. That is not active military service. The only time you have active military service is if the Commander-in-Chief, the President of the United States, actually calls up your unit for active military service. Let's kind of do a little recap. So you would think that being a veteran or defining a veteran is really a simple thing. Anybody can apply for VA benefits like disability, indemnity comp, DIC, or VA pension, okay? But in order to receive those benefits, you've got to be a veteran, or you've got to be a dependent of a veteran or a surviving spouse of that veteran. So again, we're here defining what a veteran is. So a veteran is a person who served in active military service. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, okay, and Coast Guard. With respect to active military service, you don't normally count reservists. Although if you were called up during Afghanistan, if the Commander-in-Chief actually called you up, then you're considered to be active service. If you were in one of the military academies, that is active service. So let me give you kind of a little, this is an interesting fact here. So military service also includes service in organizations other than the military, okay? So For instance, to determine eligibility for VA benefits, military service also includes commissioned officers in the public health service who are on full-time duty. Commissioned officers in the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. I think those are the folks who do all the weather and the hurricane. So those people qualify for military service too. The Environmental Science and Services Administration, okay, they also qualify. Now there's some individuals from the World War II service in the government of the Commonwealth of the Philippines, they qualify, and then service in the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps during World War II. Now, interesting fact though, according to the VA, there's only about 240,000 of the 16 million individuals that served in World War II that are still alive today. So also included in there are, don't forget, merchant marines who also served during World War II. We hope we gave you some good information on who is a veteran today and how you would qualify. So you got to be a veteran, you got to be in active military service. That's the key, okay? If it's been informative, please like and subscribe. Give us a comment below if there's a topic that you want to hear about with respect to VA benefits, whether it be DIC for disability or VA pension. Let us know. We'll be glad to help you out there. So the VA rules are like a maze, okay? And so we're here to help cut through the red tape. I know we've thrown a lot at you today, but if you have any specific questions, again, you can email us at dearvaguy@gmail.com, dearvaguy@gmail.com. We'd be glad to answer your questions. And until next time, be blessed.
No more whiskey, I'll have a Coke. Catching bass on an old fishing boat. One more story from Grandpa Joe. Let's get